Question is the House take note of the petition. I call the member for Ryde.
Oh, thank you very much, Speaker. I came down here for a civilised debate. I wanted to enjoy this because there's 18,000 people in the community who have put their name to paper. It's an extraordinary achievement. And yet here we have one of the most egregious displays of passing the buck that I've ever seen. I mean, the simple reality is that all of you are now in government. And the member for South Coast has just given you a first-class example of why an emergency department is so valuable. Because she's got a good story to tell, and I'm happy to hear it. It's fantastic. We all want to have a good story to tell, and yet we'll get to you, member for Wollongong, because we need to make sure that all families, all members of the community, get the same experience as the member for South Coast in that local hospital. And that's what I want in Ryde. That's what the leader of the opposition wants. That's what we on this side want. It seems to not be what those on that side want, and I don't understand that. But I am particularly outraged that the member for Bega, this is your local patch, you are in fact yourself a doctor, and you've come down here and in effect tried to defend less health services in what this community knows is a fast-growing community. And this is why I want to speak on this motion. I want to speak on this motion because I represent a fast-growing community, and I also know that communities, that governments can change their mind, because before this election, in fact we go back a few elections, there was no more ferocious opponent to growth and development in my community than those opposite. Right? The Minister for Planning's here, but he was a chief opponent to growth in my community of Ryde. Now all of a sudden, they're in government and things have changed. So if you accept a backflip on your position around growth, then you surely must accept a change of position on your position around infrastructure and planning. And what could be more important for a fast-growing community than basic health services? If people get sick, if people are injured, if people need to go to the hospital, they need a functioning emergency department. I couldn't care if there were 3 in the community. I think you need to be able to have access. You should not have to depend on the political colours of the government of the day, and yet that is what you're getting with the politicisation of this government. I have listened to the most substantive debate, which has been one of the political matesmanship around who it is that's advocating for this in the community. You're the only ones talking about politics. Peter and the community have written in, and not once have they pointed the finger of blame, and yet you come in here and you want to make this about something that happened well over 12 months ago. The simple reality is that when you are in government, you are able to make decisions. You are able to appropriate funds. If you don't like the direction that things are travelling, you can change it. That's the beauty of the position. And it is fantastic that the Minister is here, because I think it is important, Minister, that you listen to this community. They are experiencing a change in their community, and there is an opportunity for you to make a difference. And the Minister alluded earlier to investment in Ryde Hospital, and I'm grateful for it. I think it's something I've advocated for long before I got into this place. We need to make sure that hospitals like that are kept on track. But why is it that my hospital can get that, but not the people here from Batemans Bay? Member for Vaucluse accurately pointed out that she has a great abundance of access, but why are the people of Vaucluse any more deserving than the people of Batemans Bay? I don't understand that either. You are the party that likes to talk about fairness, talk about equality. Well, here's an opportunity to balance the scales. Here's an opportunity to actually make sure that the people that have taken the time to come down here are able to get the same access to services that I can get, Member for Vaucluse can get, that many of you in your electorates can get. And I'm particularly upset at the way that the local member has acquiesced responsibility. There's an opportunity to stand up, to be responsible, to talk. You're the parliamentary secretary. You have the ability to influence your minister, to appropriate the funds. You have a say over these issues, and you've abandoned ship, and you've left it up to the opposition to do the advocacy for this community. I don't understand. I wouldn't stand for it. I don't think the member for North Shore would stand for it. I don't think the member for Badgerys Creek would stand for it. The member for Terrigal wouldn't stand for it. The leader of the opposition certainly doesn't stand for it. So I don't. And Brad Hazard would never have allowed it. So I don't understand I don't understand why. I think the member for North Shore for the interjection. I don't understand how you can acquiesce responsibility. You're the parliamentary secretary, you're the local member, you've got the ear of the minister, you're in government. All the conditions are set to make a change. All the conditions are there to deliver for these people. They've taken the trip and you are abandoning it, and it's a shame and it's a disgrace. And the minister, I call you to allocate the funding. Make it happen.
The member